What's up, geeks? Welcome to the For the Geeks podcast. I'm Chris Seger, and today I have with me my good friend Ryan Wijaya. Before we get into things, I'd like to apologize for the mini hiatus that happened. John is a bitch, and he had to work. He basically works 6 days a week, and then he sleeps all day on a fucking Saturday with only 3 hours to spare during each day of the week. But we will always find a way to keep the show running. We're not done here. We just took a little break and had to reorganize shit and what have you. But yeah, moral of the story, John's a hoe. The end. Anyway, how have you been, Ryan?
I've been good. Recently came back from my vacation.
Oh yeah,
Maui.
yeah. Tell the
happened.
listeners about that.
I don't want to.
Well, okay then. We'll move on.
Okay. Oh, we just did a lot of snorkeling and honestly did some luau. It was good. We try to catch sunrise and sunset every day. Well, we'll try, but watch sunrise twice. The first one was kind of hard because it was kind of cloudy, so it wasn't as well. You don't really get to see the sun when it's cloudy. Too cloudy. And then the second one was a lot better. It was a lot more clear. And then we tried to catch sunset a couple times, which is pretty easy considering like our place Airbnb is like right at the ocean view, so it was like really easy to see it. Did zip line. We did. What else did we do? Oh, went snorkeling. A lot of snorkeling on the ocean.
Always fun.
Beach. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. We ate a lot of Hawaiian food. Well, yeah. It's easy to know Hawaiian food because I used to work for a Hawaiian restaurant. So
even though it's a franchise,
well,
and not like hole in the wall.
Well, it's a franchise, but like the recipe is still like homemade family recipe kind of thing, because you get to modify it. Like you go to like a seminar or whatever to learn the basic of it, like how to make the main food.
Oh, I didn't even know
but
that.
you can modify it however you want, as long as it stays authentic in a way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you go to a franchise for like, well, if you open a franchise for like any other, well, I don't know, but McDonald's, but like, In-N-Out, for example, like you go to their seminar to learn how to make their stuff, so it's very consistent, but you can add your own little spice. But well, not In-N-Out, but like I'm saying L&L, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of them taste similar. Like there's a lot of them taste similar, like the meat and stuff, but there's always one that you cannot really get here. So that's what I was looking for.
I find it interesting how it's a franchise and yet it's still the same stuff you would find on the island, because usually when you have a franchise that's from out of state or even out of country, they usually just fuck it up because it's completely different from whatever it is, where it originally came from. Like Panda Inn is a combination of or Panda Express, combination of American food and Chinese food. But if you go to China, you're not going to get any of that. You're going to get like dim sum and, that kind of shit.
That's like different because that's like out of country kind of thing. But you're still within the state. And then the owner of the franchise are like, they've been to Hawaii many times too. Like they're like, well,
that's good.
The one I work for, he was Japanese, but they all been to Hawaii and they know Hawaiian food and all that stuff like that. So it's not gonna be that much different.
That's cool.
So yeah.
I think the best thing I ever ate that I learned how to make by myself, which is really simple. Any of the listeners can fucking make it. Is spam musu beef, because it's just spam, teriyaki sauce, rice in a rice presser, and then either a full strip or a partial strip of seaweed to wrap it. Some people
you don't even have to use teriyaki sauce. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say some people don't. I personally don't like the full wrap. Like I don't like when the musubi is completely wrapped in seaweed. That's just too much. I like when it's simple, like how L&L does.
Half wrap.
Yeah, where it's just around the
middle wrap.
center. Yeah, like you're wrapping a box, like something like that.
Yeah, you don't even have to use teriyaki sauce technically. Like honestly, you can either just, because the one we have at L&L, they would, in the middle part is actually we just put like a strip of our own style of barbecue sauce, so it's kind of sweet in the middle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
okay.
It wasn't teriyaki sauce. We make our own sauce in there. So, but it was like I forgot what's in it, but I know there's like some soy sauce and sugar and Worcestershire sauce, I think a little bit. But even then, if you just that's not you don't even have to do it like the original way. I think they just like marinate. Well, you just put like soy sauce and sugar. You just kind of stir them together and just kind of dip the spam in it, and you
Yeah.
fry it. So you get that. You kind of caramelize that soy sauce on the on the spam. You okay? Did you mute yourself?
Yeah, I did, so I didn't have to. Anyway, I'm doing medicine. But anyway, no, I forgot. Like when I make it, I do all of my previously mentioned ingredients, and then I bought this shit from Vaughn's. It's like sriracha mayo. It's already pre-made in a bottle. I just squirt that on in between the rice and the meat, and like it just makes it to a tastier version for me and whatnot. Or
Yeah,
I'll
you can.
use my mom insists on using rice vinegar. I don't like putting that on there, but it's that green shit that you toss in rice. You know what I'm talking about? It comes like in a plastic can, and it has like little ball
Furikake?
seeds. Yeah, there you go. I'll toss a little bit of that in as well for a different type of musubi, and that also
Furikake
tastes
is
good.
good.
Yeah, but
That's good. Like
yeah.
if you just add it on the rice by itself and eat it with meal, it's good.
Oh yeah, it gives that an extra kick. But yeah, I like the musubi, and I always like the short ribs because I had those growing up from like my grandparents. They'll just randomly like once a month make fucking Korean short ribs, and then you know you guys had it at your place. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. Whenever I went there, I'd always order that and no. What was it? It wasn't coleslaw. It was like mac and cheese.
Mac salad?
Yeah, ugh. I'm like, don't give me that shit. Give me a ton of rice, and you guys would give me extra ribs, and I'd be fucking happy.
You know,
Good times.
the mac salad in L&L that I work at is actually better than the one I had in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's the mayonnaise they use. Because in here we use the best food mayo.
Oh my.
Podcast is sponsored by Best Food Mayo. Best Food Mayo is the best. Best Food Mayo is the best mayo. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. I really appreciate it. Best Food Mayo, please use it for you.
Oh my god.
Max out. No, it's not sponsored.
Plugging shit.
Um,
I wish we'd sponsor.
Best Food Mayo is the best one, honestly. Like either that or QP, like the Japanese mayo, but that's kind of like eggy, very thick. So for some reason, the one in Hawaii they don't use Best Food Mayo, so it was kind of like, and like it has no flavor. It's just like mayo and plain, like there's no salt in it or something.
Like white people steak, not
I
seasoned.
guess so. Jesus. Okay. But
I'm just kidding.
I think, yeah, I don't know why. But the mac salad that I had wasn't the best. Like the one at LNL here is better. At least the one I worked at. We use Best of Mayo. Other than that, it's trash mayo.
Damn. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. That's good to know.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? LNL. Oh, Hawaii stuff. Like, I've been to Hawaii like 3 fucking times. For the listeners, because I've told you this already, I've only been to Oahu. Like, what sucks now about Oahu is there's no more international marketplace, which that was like a big tourist attraction where they would just have a bunch of shops and vendor stalls just sitting in an open area, and you can go around and get different, knickknacks and shit for touristy shit. And they totally got rid of that, unfortunately. And I wish I had better footage of it. I just have footage of it when I was like fucking 13 or whatever with crappy video camera. But I've been to mainly just Waikiki Beach. I've been to North Shore. I did like an ATV tour where they filmed like part of Jurassic Park. That was fun. And I went to this like World War II bunker as well. I got to see
Pearl Harbor.
I went there too. I went to but there was a bunker on the ATV tour for the Pearl Harbor attack, as well as I went to the Pearl Harbor Memorial, which was quite interesting. It wasn't as powerful as an effect as in terms of history as the 9/11 Memorial, because I lived through that thing, even though I was on the other side of the country. But it was still crazy to see this amount of history. Like, one day I'd love to go see like the Berlin Wall, for example. I know you're not supposed to touch it, but people fucking touch it and pull pieces off of it anyway. I know these people. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say this. I know this guy on a different podcast. He fucking he stole a piece of the Berlin Wall because like there's guards there because he's like you could go to like to the gift shop and they'll sell you a piece of the Berlin Wall, but how do you know that's a part of the wall? They could just be bullshitting you. So he was like. He's looking at the guards and he's like, I'm taking a picture. Oh, I dropped my phone. Let me reach down. This motherfucker reaches down and grabs a handful of rock and shoves it in his pocket so he can have authentic wall.
Oh my god.
That's something.
It's just cement.
I know, but it's a piece of history, like a big part of history.
I was like, if I go fucking Eiffel Tower, stole a piece of the steel, like, is this a steel beam? No one would know.
This isn't special.
It's like, yeah, I stole a chunk of Eiffel Tower, but then people who see is just like, it's just a fucking steel, like, cut.
Yeah.
No one would know what that is. Like,
I
if
know,
you go to,
right?
like, the Great Wall, you take part of the wall out. Like, no one would know.
No one would know unless you had like scientific analysis and be like, yeah, there's artillery debris here in this part of the rock and blah blah blah. But no one, no one else would fucking figure it out. Oh man,
You should go to
what?
You should go to like the historic site, like the bombing place of where we bombed Japan, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Would I go?
That place is haunted.
Yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, but I would go there just to see what it feels like. Because like when I went to New York in April and I went to the 9/11 memorial, you know, I felt emotional because of all the shit that was happening. I'm like, it's surreal. Like when I go to historic places like that, it's pretty fucking surreal for me. So I would like to see what happened, you know, one of the darkest moments in history. Like, you know, I want to see what the aftermath of that. I've always wanted to go to like Chernobyl, like, for example, and see, you know, all that shit over there. As well as I follow this a couple interesting social media pages where they just visit abandoned sites, and you see like a bunch of abandoned. Well, you'll find like he finds like a bunch of abandoned vehicles, abandoned mansions and shit. He's been to like I think a different guy. He went to like Disneyland's abandoned, not in a Disney World's abandoned like hotel, as well as their entire. There's a whole section of the park they just fucking abandoned because it was supposed to be like the new Animal Kingdom, but they're like, fuck it, and then they just leave it there. So yeah, I like looking at old shit like that. It's I think the only place I'd feel creeped out in, that you said, you know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki are haunted, would be a fucking graveyard. I'm a pussy when it comes to a graveyard because I don't know why, but like. Because I remember when I was with my cousin John and Joey, you fuckers, when you guys listen to this, John, you'll remember. But we were driving through the mountains in my penis blue van, and
what?
My penis blue van, the Seger van. The color was penis blue, as stated by Albert from Blair. But anyway, we were going through the mountains, and I don't know what mountains. It was pitch fucking black. Like, there were no fucking lights. Yeah, I know it's a mountain. But we come out on the other side, and there's like a fucking graveyard there, and they're like, let's go to the graveyard. I'm like, no. It's 10 o'clock at night, and this fucker wants me to go through a goddamn graveyard so we can just fucking drink and hang out on tombstones and shit. I'm not fucking doing that. That's creepy as shit to me. I'll do that during the day, not during the night. I don't know what's gonna come out at night. What if there's a cougar? What if there's a fucking coyote? Well, no, coyotes hate people, so they'll just run away. But I ain't taking chances, because no, that scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, no, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go through the cemetery. So yeah, I pussied out. But yeah, I'd love to visit historical places like that. I can't remember any other ones off the top of my head that I would find like super. Like, I have to do this, cross it off my my checklist and whatever. But
your bucket list.
My bucket list. I'm sure I could look some up. But what was your favorite part of Hawaii?
Well, snorkeling really. It's like you just go around the beach and just like fucking swim wherever you want. You might die, but at least you swim.
You're not gonna. That's more. That's more scuba. Scuba's more deadly than snorkeling.
Well, I was snorkeling at one beach. It's called Honolulu Bay. It's really nice. But I think we swam too far, and I can feel the wave pulling us. And when I looked, because when you snorkel, you just kept looking down, you didn't notice.
Yeah.
And then when I looked up, I was like, oh shit, we're so close to the coast, like the jagged rock area, and we were just being pulled by the waves there.
Yeah.
Because that's the waves is like just pushing you and pulling you closer and closer to the edge.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie and her brother and everyone was there like, oh shit, we gotta swim away from this, because we can feel, like I can feel I was being pulled somewhere.
Oh shit.
And I was like, yeah, we're getting too close to the coast, to the edge, and it's like, think of it like it's the crescent moon shape of the bay, and we're at the very tip of it, so there's a lot of like rocks. So we swam away as fast as we can.
That's good.
Well, not as fast, but like to the best.
Yeah.
Because you can't really fight against the wave that much, so you just gotta go diagonally or something like that.
Yeah.
So we did, and then we got back to like the middle where it's like a little bit more calm, and then you get to see more sea urchins and other fish.
Sea urchins.
Sea urchins, they're delicious. Not the one in Hawaii though. You cannot eat them. They're different.
Oh, they're not edible. They're poisonous.
Well, they all have toxins.
Right.
All of them do, regardless of which one, the edible one or not. It's just that different sea urchins have different size. Because when you eat sea urchins, you eat the gonads, right?
The gonads.
The gonads. But the thing is that not all of them have like the large size gonads, like the one, because the one we eat is either from Santa Barbara or from Japan. I think is it Okinawa or Hokkaido uni, or something like that. But yeah, is it Okinawa or Hokkaido? Anyway, one of those, it's from Japan. But the one on those are the only ones that you can eat. Even the one from Santa Barbara, it's very specific that you can eat. I think it's like a specific color. Is it purple, red? I don't remember.
Rainbow,
yeah. So yeah, you can't just eat random uni basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, you can try.
I'd rather not. No, I've never had sea urchin. I've always been told it's an interesting animal to eat. It's not for everyone.
It's awesome.
I'll have to try it because
it's so delicious. It's like the best one.
You made me try. Well, you pressured me into trying eel, and I was against it at one time at Guppies, and I ate it, and I'm like, this is fucking good.
Yeah,
I like eel.
Hokkaido uni is so far my favorite. Like Santa Barbara uni is more sweet. It's just sweeter, and but it tastes really different than the Hokkaido uni, the Japanese one. That one tastes as if like you're eating the ocean, and I like that a lot.
Wow, eating the ocean.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious.
It really tastes like the ocean. Like,
so it's salty.
No, it's not salty. It tastes what the ocean smells like.
Okay, I can understand that. That sounds like something I would eat. Yes.
Yeah, they're really expensive.
Damn it.
Well, you can get them here for like maybe if you're only gonna try it once, I think it's like $8. Try it once, see how it tastes, and then that's it. If you ever get a chance again, you do it again. But
okay. Segueing into another thing, I have a question. So I know you had a different childhood than most, everyone else in our group had, because you from Indonesia and you had other TV shows and shit. So did you ever watch Batman the Animated Series?
I watched it when I was here.
Oh, okay.
So
did you like it?
I liked it, because it was always on Cartoon Network. Was it?
Yes.
At 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Because when I got here, the people I live with, Henry, Greg, Beth, Bill, whatever, all those, the family
Guardians,
I live with, yeah, the kids would always watch Batman at 8:30 or 9. So I would see that show when I was just hanging out with them in the living room.
Oh,
so cool. I know what it looks like. I know what it is. I know about it.
Okay.
I saw like a lot of episodes already, but not the whole series, but
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
they do reruns, right?
yeah.
So it's never gonna be in order or
I
something like that.
I asked because, well, for listeners who don't know yet, which you probably do, as of yesterday, we lost a very, very important celebrity to the geek culture for both comic book fans and just animated series or even movie fans. We lost Kevin Conroy at age 66, died to cancer, the voice actor for Batman from the animated series to fucking Justice League, as well as he was in the Arkham games, except for Arkham Origins, and his last role was being Batman in multiverses, and this shit really depressed me. Like usually celebrities, like a lot of celebrities, I don't really care about. It's just like, oh, they died, but like the ones that really struck me were fucking Van Halen.
Robin
When Eddie
Williams.
Van Halen passed, I was really depressed because he got me into he influenced me on playing guitar, and I love that music. And I would remember I'd listen to it and try to copy Panama because I love that song, as well as Hot for Teacher. And I didn't even touch Eruption. That song's too goddamn hard to play. But and then Kevin Conroy passes. I'm like, he was only 66 years fucking old, and cancer took his life. And it sucks because everyone identified him as the true Batman. Because if you think about it, you have Adam West, who sounds all goofy and shit when he's playing Batman, and then you have, or you'll skip ahead and you have Christopher Nolan, who talks like this and shit. Sorry, not Christopher Nolan. Christian Bale. Christian Bale, who talks like that, and then you have Ben Affleck, who's I can't do the voice modulation, and then you have Robin Pattinson, and it's like there's such a range. They always have to alter their voice when playing bats because it's a different character. But you have Kevin, who he didn't change his voice at all. It's just like with Clark Kent and Superman, with those voice actors, they don't change their voice. And I always found it interesting because Kevin never had to adjust his pitch at all or change it to make it gravelly like anyone else. I understand, the actors do it for their own interpretation, but Kevin had it perfect. It was commanding, it was powerful, but it was also calm, and you felt great when you listened to him speak because it's like this voice belongs with his character. And one of the coolest things I thought that he got to do was he got to appear as Batman in Crisis of Infinite Earths, the TV show in the Arrowverse, which I never got into. And he got to play a different type of Batman. He got to play the live action version of Bruce Wayne, which was like, wow. And he was like the version of Batman that basically gave up on everything and trying to be righteous because being righteous wouldn't work because people would still commit crime, and he went that route in this universe. But it's a shame. I really wish I could have met him. Like seeing him die and several
You couldn't see him die.
no, but like knowing that he died, I was just like, fuck, you know what? I gotta start getting fucking pictures with voice actors and celebrities when I go to conventions because they're not going to be there forever and they might just stop working so they won't show up at conventions. Like when I was at the Star Wars one, a couple months later, I really regret not getting photos with Katie Sackhoff, with Sam Witwer, Ian McDiarmid, etc. Because the next one isn't for like a couple years, and I don't know if those guys are going to be back because not everyone in Star Wars gets invited to the convention, just the ones that are currently working on material and what have you. But with Kevin Conroy, I even read like he was supposed to make something with Kevin Smith, this director of Clerks and stuff. He was gonna make like a podcast episode with him next year, and talk about his favorite Batman moments. One of his favorite Batman moments, voice acting, was when Bruce goes up to the grave of his parents and tells, and is talking to the gravestone, and he's like, "Can I quit now? Can I stop being the Batman. Can I have money? I can hire, more cops. I have trillions of dollars. I can hire more cops to take care of Gotham City. Is it okay, mom and dad, or something like that, if I can stop, being this guy? Can I have a break? And he doesn't get an answer because, they're dead. But that is a very powerful moment because, you can't do that job forever. And he did well with the voice acting there. I've always wanted to see a Batman Beyond movie directed by Christopher Nolan in that universe, but have or like that theme, dark and edgy. But I would have loved to see Kevin Conroy be old Bruce Wayne, because Batman Beyond is not about Bruce Wayne. It's about, well, it is. He's passing the mantle of Batman to Terry McGinnis, who's his cloned offspring. So unfortunately, now that'll never get made with the voice actor. But yeah, rest in peace, guy. He changed a lot of the industry. Like, even the Batman animated series, it heavily influenced like a bunch of other cartoons. Like, you can see the dark, like it just looks like a fucking comic book. Because from like back then, I don't know if you've looked at comics, Ryan, but like back then, how they used to have like simple color palettes and like really dark shadows that were just like pitch black and everything.
I don't think so. I wasn't really into like comic books that much.
Me either, but I just remember the artwork. But they managed to capture that in the show. Like it looked like I was watching a comic book. And then I could see that influence in the Teen Titans show, as well as the SWAT Cats Radical Squadron cartoon and several others that were pretty good. Because I went on Twitter and the SWAT Cats creators were like, yeah, if it wasn't for this TV show, our show wouldn't have succeeded and whatnot. But yeah, I need to play the last Arkham game after I beat the Tomb Raider series, because I need to, and it's fucking Batman. I don't know if I'm going to touch Arkham Origins yet. I'll probably give that a rest, because the voice actors do a good job, but they don't come close to Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. Fucking hold on. I'm dying.
I can tell.
Drink cookie butter. Frappuccino or ice blended from coffee bean. Yeah, it's delicious. But anyway, other than that, other than his passing, I have so I got an interesting question for those of you that know or don't know or care about the fucking news, listeners. Some lucky motherfucker in our state, a couple cities away, won the fucking lottery. Basically practically a billionaire. It was like just short, 50 mil of being a billion, but it doesn't matter. That's $1 billion lump sum. Wow. Fucking, and there's some old guy too. It's always some old person.
People who win tattoos, it's either they're a junkie, someone who's about to die, or someone who does not know how to manage their money.
Wait, what does this have to do with the lottery? Tattoos?
No, not tattoos. A junkie, someone who doesn't know how to manage their money. Or someone. Did I say tattoo?
Yeah, you said. I'm talking about the lottery, and you're bringing up tattoos. Like what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, someone who wins the lottery, not tattoos. Someone who wins the lottery. It's always someone who's about to die, doesn't know how to manage their money, or a junkie.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone winning the lottery and they became like successful and create like a business empire. Nothing, because like for me, if I won the lottery, first thing I'm doing, clear my debts. Second thing I'm doing, give millions of dollars to my parents for raising me, because I cost them millions of dollars being alive, and then as well as other family members and maybe some friends. And after that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna invest half of this in some long-term shit, and then charity for the charities that I'm interested in, take care of that as well for tax write-off as well. But and then I would just be smart with the rest of it. I wouldn't because I've seen stories of people who win the lottery and they just fucking blow it all and they're broke and then they become homeless. I'm like, well, you're fucking stupid. Like, I know, like, it goes to a lot of people's heads because they're like, I have all this money, I can buy everything, but they don't realize how fast it's going to disappear from their life because of that choice. You have to be really grounded and tell yourself, yes, I do have money. I should take care of my pressing issues first and then start, investing so I'll continuously have money in case an emergency happens or whatever. Even if it is like $1 billion, it's still, that could disappear in a second depending on a number of circumstances. What would you do? Yeah, no. What would you do if you won $1 billion?
Probably of course, it's the same at everybody, right? Pay off debt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But of course, like $1 billion, you said?
$1 billion. If you had $1 billion.
Buy multiple houses and start investing on those houses or buy lands.
Yes.
Properties. I think, you know what? Instead of houses, I think I would rather buy like an office complex or like a plaza, like a strip mall, and then own that area so that the renters would just pay me.
That's smart. Yeah.
Like a plaza that has for example, a bunch of restaurants and offices in it.
Yeah. So you can get a ton of traffic and what have you.
Yeah.
Versus like a fucking apartment where you have to keep fixing that shit all the time because tenants will fuck it up.
Apartment complex is actually another one that's actually pretty good. Like if you have a big complex, because tenants can mess it up, but then honestly, with the current law, they protect the tenants so much it's ridiculous. There's no point, I think, because you keep hearing. I don't know if you hear the news, but they keep trying to protect the tenants. Oh yeah, you cannot evict them because the government's trying to protect them from the COVID, whatever. And
Stupid.
You cannot just you're trying to reduce homelessness, but these people are not paying rent and all that stuff. So I get it. It's tough times, but
our government's stupid.
Job.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Exactly. That brings me to another point. Sorry to interject, but I read an article of someone in Canada who he owns a house and there are squatters who took over his house, but the Canadian government protects them and he can't evict them for some reason. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? That's the dumbest logic I've ever heard of. I would just cut off their fucking power, and they'd probably find some way to just fuck up the house even more, driving the property value down. But what? That's stupid politics, in my opinion. I get you want to be nice and help the homeless people, but a lot of them, they have mental issues. But the ones that don't, they're there by choice because they fucked up in life, and then they're trying to just take over someone else's shit, which shouldn't be legal. But I don't know. That's one reason why I'm glad I don't live in Canada, because what if I go on vacation for a week and then there's people living in my house? I'm fucked.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, why would people live in your house in Canada?
What do you mean? Like squatters, that's what I mean.
Oh, just get a hotel. No one's going to be there.
I'm not going to live in a hotel. That's what I'm saying. If I lived in Canada and I went away for a while and I came back and there were squatters, I wouldn't be able to kick them out.
Yeah.
That would suck. Yeah. But no, yeah. So anyway, you would invest in apartment complex and a strip mall or something like that?
Well, maybe strip mall would be better, like an office complex with restaurants around it. That would be the best one.
And then we can go to New Zealand.
I'll buy a mall.
Buy a mall.
Buy an island. Buy Hawaii.
I don't think that's a lot more than $1 billion for fucking Hawaii. That's a whole state.
Buy one island.
Buy the smallest.
Buy Maui.
If I were to buy one, I'd buy fucking Kauai because there's because it's, even though there's less people, less money there, it's more nature-esque. It's beautiful. I've only seen pictures of that. Bali. That's a great tourist attraction.
That's fun. There. Bali's fun. So cheap there too.
Lucky bastard.
I can still go. Ticket isn't.
Broke.
Isn't too bad right now.
I need to wait till I get a raise or a promotion before I think about travel.
Kidney.
Sell my kidney. I need them.
You already have two. You only need one technically.
That's like getting rid of your butt cheek. You still need the other one to sit down.
I just lean the other way.
You know how uncomfortable that is to lean on one side?
Get a silicone.
Silicone? Just get an ass implant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do glute exercises. I'm gonna have all the gym bros look at my ass and they're gonna be like,
There
nice
you
glutes,
go.
bro. That's something that dudes do that, it's not like a weird thing. It's just like an appreciation. Like, he lifts. He's like, pretty good. Nice. I do that too. I look at dudes and in the gym and I'm like, they're pushing heavy weight. I'm like, nice, dude. That's awesome. Because I'll get there someday. Fucking, ugh. Except for shoulders. I fucking hate doing shoulders. These are the weakest goddamn muscles on my body. Probably like the human body, because you don't usually exercise or do this in your daily basis. You don't lift shit above your head using your shoulders. You usually
That's why it's bad to do that.
it's bad, but like you got to strengthen it
Yeah.
too. You can't just be like, I'm gonna be huge here, and then you try to lift something over your head, and you're like, I can't lift it.
Well, that's why like when you work, your shoulders should be like relaxed. You never work like
Oh yeah,
this,
I'm always
right? Or
relaxed.
when you're cooking, you don't like cook somewhere above you like that. Like that's why like you have your shoulder relaxed so you don't. It's not
Always, yeah,
too damaging, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so billion. Damn, dude, fucking. I think I'm gonna start buying lottery tickets, just like 1 or 2 a week, just for kicks. Because even if you don't win, you have a chance at winning like some type of money or whatever. I think like, huh?
You have a higher chance of dying on the way to buy the lottery
I
than
do.
winning the lottery.
But I don't live in fucking Compton, so I don't have to worry about that here in my city.
You're in California.
Yeah, but in my city, there's nice people here, so I'm not gonna die.
I don't know
in my
about
city.
nice.
Yeah, no, they are nice. North of the freeway is nice over here. But yeah, the fucking. I think I used to dabble with the scratchers before, but that was only like for a little. I bought like one scratcher and I won like $50, and I was like, yay! And that's it. And then after that, I just kept losing. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this shit. Fucking. I know that like there were people I worked with at Town and Country that would just buy. They would spend like a quarter of their paycheck on scratchers, like $200. Like, what the fuck are you doing? They all think because one guy in the warehouse won like $100,000 that they're gonna do it too. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are just fucking away your money. But
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna win lottery like anytime soon.
No.
Or like in my lifetime, I don't think so.
Or if we do, we're gonna be like 80 years old and we'll have like 5 years to spend it, and then we'll be
80
dead.
years old, you have like stage 4 pancreatic cancer, you're about to die in 3 months. Like, well,
Exactly.
here's like $1 billion. What the fuck am I gonna give me a new pancreas or something, I guess.
Right? They'll be able to grow better organs in like 50 years.
But at
For
that
sure.
point, I'm already 80, can't even walk. Diabetic.
Wait, what kind of fucking 80-year-old are you gonna be? What the hell? I thought you're
No.
Mr. Healthy. You're gonna be able to be fine at 80.
Like, I'm not healthy. I still eat junk.
You don't look like you eat junk, so you're gonna be fine. Just keep
Like, I don't eat like fast food as much, but I still eat like, pizza and burger and all that stuff, all that crap.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but I
Right.
mean, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna be a dying
Or-
crippled old man.
Borderline alcoholic, pretty much.
But also that depends on your genes. Like your grandparents, how long did they live to?
My grandpa, they both died. One is before I was born, and one I was like 2, 3.
No,
4.
how old were they? Not you.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh, you never
I
asked
don't
your
know.
parents?
No, my grandma died when she was 80 something and 90 something.
Oh,
But
Kitty.
I don't want. You can see it.
yeah, I can see her. It.
Yeah, it's an it. It's a cat.
Everything is an it. Look, everybody, listeners can't see, but viewers, it's Lily, the ragdoll cat. She's amazing.
She was adopted.
She's
Adopted kitty.
a spoiled cat.
She is spoiled.
Look at
There
her.
you go.
Beautiful.
Wait, you want to send an email?
What the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, age and stuff. Like for me,
Yeah.
my family, they live to be about 90 to 100 is how long they live, which is insane. Like My grandma's like 89 years old and she's still kicking. Like she doesn't really have any she just has a problem walking, but that's because she's lazy. She never really liked to exercise that much. So yeah, I mean if you keep your people keep their routine up when they're older, they're not going to have any problems as long as they don't like go too hard. Like if you're jogging and you're 70 years old, that's not really good because it'll fuck up your knees or something.
Yeah, well, it depends on. So I learned that it depends on where you jog too. Like if you jog on an asphalt.
Oh yeah,
or cement,
yeah.
Like it's actually not good for your knees. So you wanna. Usually each jogging place has like a place for jogging. They have like a different material on the road. Like it's kind of rubbery. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's not as damaging. Like even when I was working for a physical therapy clinic. They were saying that a lot of if you have knee or like if you have any knee injuries or whatever, like or your knee's not so good, you wanna try to avoid treadmill.
Yeah.
Because when you run, you impact your knee and it damages the disc.
Yep.
Right. So that's why you go with the elliptical, because
There's no impact. No, it's
Yeah,
it's just moving like a gear. Yeah. Or you can go jog on grass because grass is nice and soft.
Or, you can just sit down and play games. That also works.
That too. Or, run in place with some Wii Fit or what have you.
I've been using that Ring Fit.
Ah.
I use that for exercise every day.
Nice.
The Ring Fit. So, like, 'cause they have the resistance band too.
Yeah.
So, like, but the resistance isn't big. Isn't strong. Like, it's enough.
Yeah.
But the repetition kills you. Because you do it like 50, 60, 70 times total. And at that point, your hands start like shaking like...
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So, and you do that and they make you do like... Oh my God. I think the last one I had to do like 100 squat total in one... Not one sitting, like sets, right? Like I was doing 100 squats. I'm like, I'm tired. I can't. This is too much. And with the running in place and all that stuff. So...
I usually get like that when I get to my boxing section of my workouts, which is usually like the last 10 to 15 minutes on Mondays and Wednesdays. Fucking, I love that I'm boxing more. I need to use the heavy bag in my backyard because I was at Bolero with my brother for his birthday on Tuesday.
Bolero.
Yeah, I've never been in there, but there was like this punching bag game where you pay and press the green button and the punching bag drops down and you have to, punch the shit out of it. And for me, my fucking heaviest hit, the first hit was 838 PSI, which it could be inaccurate because it's just a game. It's not like it's not like a tested accurate research sports research device like professionals use. But I Googled it, and about 800 is about the average for people that actively train in boxing. And I'm like, oh, okay, good, because I do. And then my brother hits it, and he gets like 846. I'm like, motherfucker hits harder than me. God damn it. But that he's done boxing longer than I have too. He's better at it than me. I'm not as good. But yeah, it was fun to do something like that. But yeah, whenever I do boxing, I get to a point where I'm just like shaky and I'm like, I can't go anymore. And then my coach is just like, come on, one more. And I'm like, okay. And then like that's when I have to just like bite my teeth and go, like, especially for shoulders, like doing an incline press when you're laying down here and you have to go up like that. Yeah. After about like I can, because my shoulders are so weak, like I have to do like 10 pounds or 15. But usually I'm doing like 4 sets of that. So that's like fucking 60 reps total. And by the time I get to like 30, I'm like, okay, I'm dying. I gotta stop. And my coach is just yelling in my ear. I'm like, okay, like, push. But thank God for fucking creatine and EAAs and shit that helps me not get tired when doing that. But yeah, I like working out's fun. I never have a problem with working out. I had a problem with doing sports. I hate sports. Mm-hmm. But working out, I'm fine because I get that feel-good rush when I work out. I finish like a set and I'm like, oh, that was good. I'm like, let's go to the next one. Stuff like that. But let's see. I have stuff to bitch about.
You do.
Like, I do.
You always do.
I do. So, like, when we were coming back from Mammoth, for listeners, I went to Mammoth for a weekend a couple weeks ago. Went fishing with my uncle. I caught a fish. He caught a fish, but we threw it back because it was too small. It was a great time up there. It's such a beautiful part of California, even though, California sucks with people, but like that's a very naturesque place. It's very, I can't explain it. You'd have to go there. Or I can show pictures later, but anyway, it's beautiful. And on our way back, we're driving, and then we're in the carpool lane, and some asshole is like tailgating us in the carpool lane for some reason. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that because it's a carpool lane. This is in the fast lane. And so my uncle like brake checks the guys behind us. They swipe around and come to the front, and then they try to brake check us. And I'm like, I'm taking my phone out so I can photograph their car. And then they speed away. And I'm like, okay, these guys were afraid we're going to report them. And like, we're like, I'm like, if they got close, my uncle would have probably pulled out his gun to just have them back off, because you have stupid people on the fucking freeway. Like, that's how I knew I was back in LA, was stupid fucking drivers. Because you don't have any of that up in Mammoth. There's no stupid drivers. Everyone's nice. Everyone's accepting. You come down here, everyone's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Everyone is a fucking idiot. Like, Here's another thing that bothered me. Like, okay, how do I explain this? I lack some type of awareness, but sometimes it's spatial awareness. Sometimes I'm hyperfixating on spatial awareness because that's what my ADHD does. But sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm so out of it, I can get scared if you just walk around the corner and I don't expect you there. But I'm at work, and there's people standing in the way, and then they're just standing there while I'm standing there. Like, move. Get the fuck out of my way. I hate when people do that. I go to the grocery store, and people do that too. They don't notice, they don't take into account that they're standing in the middle of the lane, or the walkway, and so they'll just fucking stand there, and I'll just have to push by them and say, excuse me. Or so I'm so tempted to just say, get the fuck out of the way to these idiotic people, because they don't have spatial awareness to identify that somebody's coming. Like, if you're at a grocery store, don't stand in the middle. Stand as close to the side as you can. That way there's people can walk through with their carts and shit. If I'm coming towards you and I'm within your line of sight, you should be able to see me. Get the fuck out of the way. God damn it. What else?
Sounds like fun.
It does. Actually, I'm not going to bitch a lot. We can talk about more. Here we go. There's one more thing that I have a problem with. If you have to ask for consent for sex, you should ask for consent for food. Okay? If I'm eating food, because this is a problem I had at Halloween at work, and it pissed me off, Ryan. There was a potluck. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to eat their food because they're going to have like pizza and shit. I'm like, I'm trying to diet. Fucking, I make my food, and people are constantly like, you should eat the food. You should eat the food. And I get they're being polite. But when I say no, I mean no. God damn it. So they just kept pushing. And they're like, are you sure you don't want to eat? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I don't want to eat. I have my own food. If I wanted to eat the food, I wouldn't have brought my own food. Stop offering shit. And then like 6 people came up to me that entire time asking me about if I wanted to eat the potluck food. And they're like, they have healthy stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I'm eating chicken and rice. I'm eating my simple, bland-ass lunch because I like it. I don't have a problem with it because of the seasoning and sauce I put on the chicken. But they just kept bothering me. And I'm like, fuck off. I don't like it when people offer me food after I've said no, or if I say I'm not hungry and people are like, try it. I don't want to try it. I'm not hungry. It's that simple. No, motherfucker.
Nice.
So yeah, there should be consent for offering food because it pisses me off. Like, if you go over to someone's house and you say you're not hungry and you're sitting down at dinner and everyone else is eating and they're offering you food and you literally said you're not hungry, shut the fuck up. Stop offering food. Etiquette with a Seger lesson right there. But
Sounds like fun.
That's your great responses to my bitching.
Yeah, well, you just like complaining. I'm not gonna go like, you're wrong.
Well, I thought you'd be like, no, I understand, or blah blah blah, but I guess not. That's okay. That's just my issues.
No, I know. Like, I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I get it.
Oh, okay. Yay. See, look at that. See, you're right.
Well, I didn't say you're right either.
I knew you were gonna say that. Fuck you. No. All right. What else is on the list? So Henry Cavill is back as Superman, which is, I know this is old news, but I'm happy. I'm also sad he left as The Witcher, but I can understand it because Netflix doesn't know what the fuck they're doing because they don't like using the source material, like fucking Amazon for some goddamn reason. So that I don't know where that show's gonna go. I was planning on watching the second season. I'll probably just watch seasons 2 and 3 and then stop after that because no more Henry. But if season 3 is good, then good. But I don't think it's gonna be because that's why Henry left the fucking TV show, which is unfortunate. But he's better as Superman, and we need an established DC universe because they are so far behind. And they keep making fucking standalone stories without one that's linked together. We just need Henry as Super. We need Affleck as Batman. Fucking Jason Momoa as Aquaman. We need all those people because I want the Darkseid storyline to come around. Because I don't know if you know this. Like, do you know who Darkseid is, Ryan?
Nope.
He's the DC version of Thanos, but he doesn't seek... Thanos, his goal was he wanted peace, but he wanted to do it by eliminating 50% of existence. Darkseid could kill Thanos because, first of all, every time you see Darkseid, it's a projection of his actual self. Darkseid is a interdimensional being that lives in his own universe as like a giant face, and like he can just project himself in a physical form into a different part of the universe, which is what we see everywhere whenever we see him appear. And he is more dangerous than Thanos because he wants the anti-life equation. The anti-life equation is basically a magical equation that will grant the wielder of the equation the power to subvert all life forms. So everything would be your slave, and that is what he wants. And that's more, to me, that's more evil than fucking Thanos, because Thanos is like, okay, everything's gone, and you just get the gauntlet back, everything's back. Anti-life equation, there is a version of the DC storyline, and they showed it in Zack Snyder's director's cut, where he actually gets the anti-life equation, and he creates evil, he's able to take over Superman as well and everything because Lois dies, and that's the key to keeping Superman grounded is Lois. If Lois gets killed or dies, he loses everything, and he's like, all right, I'm going to be evil, and then Darkseid can just easily, take over his mind with the anti-life equation, and he's a god at that point, which is what we kind of saw in the Snyder cut. But I'm happy Cavill's back. I know he made an appearance in the Black Adam movie. I didn't watch the movie, but I saw the post credits cutscene or whatever, and he's there. Spoiler. I'm like, if you haven't seen it, I don't fucking care. It's not a movie. Jesus. It's not a movie that's important to watch. Like it's The Rock being Black Adam. He's not a good actor. He's just an action movie hero. That's it. But other than that, I'm happy he's back as Supes. To me, he's like the guy who should play Superman. And same with Ben Affleck as Batman. He does a good job of being both Batman and Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. But yeah, I feel sad about the future of the Witcher series. I am happy they're remaking the first Witcher game so people can enjoy that shit, and I'm happy they're making a fourth Witcher game because that'll be also fucking cool to enjoy and whatnot. Let's see what else is good. Oh,
What's
so
good?
what people don't know about, well, MMO talk here is Crowfall.
Oh God.
The death of Crowfall. So I know people, a lot of people don't play MMORPGs, but for the few of you that do, there was a game called Crowfall. It was pitched as, you know, this game with like 18 classes and races that you could choose. And you would get to like level 30, and once you're level 30, you could start PvPing. It was a PvP-centric MMORPG, which already from the get-go is a very bad thing, like Warhammer. Even if the PvP is fun, nobody wants to just play a PvP game for an MMO. If you want to do that, go play Call of Duty, because that's PvP.
Yeah.
And like I was playing the beta. The beta felt empty. Like usually when there's a beta, you know this, Ryan. When there's a beta, there's thousands of people playing. There was hardly 100 people on the server when I was playing. Like,
You know what beta was like huge?
What?
Like, speaking of beta, it's like Lost Ark beta was huge.
oh my god, yeah, it totally
Oh,
because it's successful.
Compare that to Crowfall.
Crowfall's a joke. And also I think Lost Ark beta was good because it was like the first really
unique.
well done. Yeah, it was really well done, unique, and it came to the West. And you know, I still want to go back and play it at some point.
Should we?
We should at some point.
Okay.
Just to see how it is, but go even more casual than before because I know your fucking ass goes too hardcore because you live at home and shit. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to go back and play that with you to explore what we're missing because I have a new computer now, so I can handle handle shit, and I won't be an hour behind when we're
Yeah.
loading into a dungeon. But yeah, no, Crowfall's the team announced that the game is being shut down soon because they're going to reconsider their plan. I'm like, well, that means it's not going to be revived. nine out of 10 times when a company shuts down a game like that, it's not going to come back, or it's going to come back, it's going to be terrible. Unless you count Final Fantasy 14, which is the best video game comeback in history. But other than that, they're usually shitty because look what happened to Bless. Bless Online was an MMO that was like a Black Desert Online clone for everyone that doesn't know, and they shut it down. They released it as Bless Unleashed. Nothing changed. Everyone who played that are like, it's the same fucking shit. It's pay to win. The graphics look the same. The mechanics are the same. Like, I don't know why the fuck they called it Bless Unleashed when they didn't change anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of saw that coming, unfortunately, because, yeah, like I said, it wasn't very populated. The mechanics needed work. Granted, I was playing it on my potato computer, but it was a PvP-centric game. If you do PvP-centric games, you're not going to have a good audience. If you do PvE-centric games, you're not going to have a good audience. You need a mixture of both. Like Final Fantasy 14 has a mixture of both. It's 90% PvE, and then there's some PvP in there to satisfy those people, which is okay because it's still a fair amount of PvP. But then you have a game like Embers Adrift, the group MMO I showed you. That one's doing well, but it's not gonna get 1 million players. It's just gonna have its small amount because it's it's PvE centric. And it's group alliant when people want to be solo players and shit, So there is that as well. Let's see. Before I continue on some MMO stuff, let me talk a little bit about Star Wars. For people that I know you're not really into it, but for listeners, I'd like to talk a little bit about Andor. I know people give shit to Disney because they're like, oh, this is terrible. Star Wars fans are the worst fucking fans in the world. They're either really great or they're really terrible. I would be one of the really great ones. Because a lot of people didn't like a problem that that they have is they judge everything before it's out. So with Kenobi, they were hating Obi-Wan Kenobi because it wasn't going well. And I'm like, this is like, this is a limited series and you fuckers are already hating it and the story isn't even done. That's like hating Lord of the Rings after watching 10 minutes of the movie. The movie isn't fucking over. So shut the fuck up and just watch it. The TV show wasn't done and people were just bashing it and being racist to, one of the actresses for playing her part. Like, what the fuck? You didn't shit on Samuel L. Jackson for being a black guy as a Jedi. Why are you giving shit to this lady being an inquisitor? The fuck? Like, that's her acting. And that's how it was written. Blame the writer. And they're doing the same thing with Andor, but not minus the racism, where Andor, you don't really have a lot of Jedi and mysticism. It's more like this is a guy who fights against the oppressive empire and he's trying to take them down through espionage and, stuff like that. And it's a really good show. It's fucking fantastic. People are bashing it because they're like, where the fuck are all, where's all the familiarity? Where are all the droids and everything and all this? Like, there's the reason they're not in there is because they want you to focus on the story, not, oh, look, there's that alien. Oh, look, there's that thing that I saw in there. No, that's relying on fan service. This is not about fan service. This is about storytelling. Fan service and shit, that's for Jedi stuff on the surface. But this is more like the average guy who lost things because of the Empire. His life got fucked up because of the Empire. And he's trying to take him down. And people don't give the show a chance. It's really it's some of the best writing ever. It's like the movie Rogue One. That was really good because it had nothing to do with the Skywalkers directly. It was about stealing the Death Star plans. And, you see Darth Vader in there a couple times, sure, but it's not about Vader. It's about, these people dealing a massive blow to the Empire, stealing the Death Star plans so that, freedom can reign again out of the, the dictatorship of the Empire. And people are fucking stupid. So watch fucking Andor, you idiots that say it's terrible and not your Star Wars. Shut the fuck up. Just watch it. It's great writing. If you liked Rogue One, you'll like the TV show because this leads literally up until the beginning of Rogue One. That's the last shot in season 2 will be like right before that fucking movie begins. Kind of like how the end of Rogue One leads right into the beginning of Star Wars A New Hope. It's just like that. So, yeah. And then you have people like shitting on the Acolyte because of the casting. And they're like, oh, it takes place 100 years before any of the movies with different characters and different story. And they're like, oh, this is generic. And I'm like, so? It's Star Wars. Shut the fuck up. Just watch it. Man, people just have to bitch about everything. Which is funny because I bitch about everything. But anyway, yeah, that's I hate when people do that. I mean, I could complain about fucking Rings of Power, but I'd rather not. It's a fucking joke. Like,
how did they come up with this name? And or. That's like the two conjunction word. And or.
Okay, dad joke. That's literally what my fucking dad said.
Well, it is.
That's his last name. I don't know.
Oh, like and or. Christopher and or.
No, his name is Cassian Andor.
Oh. I don't know. It's like calling something and home. Insert delete.
Wow. No. Stupid. Let's see what else I have on the docket. I don't think there's anything else really.
You don't have anything else going on in your life?
No. Nothing that I can think of that's really worth mentioning.
Impactful.
What?
Nothing impactful.
No. Not even video game wise. I'm trying to think. Well, hold on. Let me bring up fucking this will help. I'll bring up
Why don't we take a break and then you look up what you need to
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
up?
We'll take a break. Hold on, BRB. I'm gonna piss anyway. So intermission, everybody.
I'm trying to think what I want for lunch.
These nuts.
These new.
These new. Oh,
What time is it?
that's what I
10:30.
was gonna talk about. There's gonna be a fucking Studio Ghibli is doing a crossover with Star Wars. They're doing a
What?
short
Really?
animation. Yeah, it's gonna be about Grogu, I believe. So
Well,
it's gonna have the what are they called? The dust things. The black
dust bunnies?
the with the eyeballs.
Yeah. The dust bunnies?
Yeah, those are gonna be in there.
Isn't it? Dust bunnies?
It's called
Yeah,
Zen
dust bunnies.
Zen Grogu and Dust Bunnies. It debuts today. It debuts today. That's
November today.
yeah, November today. No, but I'm gonna check that out because everyone loves that fucking studio, and if they do like if this succeeds, I would love to see them do a take on Star Wars and make it like completely a unique story because that's what they're good at, unique fucking stories.
Studio Ghibli is great at that. It's
Yeah.
so wild, like it's so out of the ordinary storyline. Like, how the fuck did they even come up with this idea?
For sure. And like I think this'll be good because the last time we saw Star Wars animation stuff, it was called Star Wars Vision. So they pulled animators from other companies that I recognize their art style. Like I noticed the person, whoever the fuck worked on Promare, they did a Star Wars episode like that. Complete animation style, the color palettes and everything. They got to work on Star Wars and they made their own unique story. I saw other influences I can't name off the top of my head. There was even one that looked similar to Studio Ghibli, but it wasn't them, that made a Star Wars unique story and everything. And that's another medium that's like really, really cool, is if you can cross it over to anime, because there's more freedom for effects and storytelling with hand-drawn animation, 2D animation, as well as 3D animation. That's why those stories and medias did really well, like the Clone Wars and everything. So I'm excited for that. I should check it out sometime today.
November today, last year.
November today. Other geek news, Ash Ketchum, after 25 motherfucking years of being 10 years old,
He's dead.
going through like 12 different fucking regions, starting in Kanto, ending in wherever the fuck he is now with ugly animation on his face. He won the Pokemon Championship of the world to become the #1 Pokemon trainer. He finally fucking did it, and he won with Gengar, Pikachu, Sirfetch'd, Lucario, Dragonite, and some snake thing. I don't know what it's called.
Arbok?
No, it was like a new generation Pokemon. I don't know if you follow that.
I don't. I stopped.
Pokemon. Let's see. I'm curious. Did you ever watch Pokemon Origins?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know what that is?
Wait, is that the movie?
It's a 6 episode series about Red.
Oh, that one with the Charizard. Yeah.
Red. Yeah,
I thought it's
that
4
was cool.
episodes.
I thought it was 6.
I thought it was only 4 because you get to see his Charizard do a Mega Evolution.
There's a Mega Evolution? Pokemon Origins.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Mega Evolution. His Charizard changed form. That's where they introduced. Well, not
Oh
introduced, I guess.
yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, I watched that. I like that. I like Red.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. He's the best.
He's the badass. compared to-
Dracovish. That's the name of the Pokemon.
Oh,
It's like a
well,
fossil thing.
I don't follow it. Like,
I don't either. But he won. That's good. Like the only thing I knew he won before was the Orange Islands League,
Orange
which doesn't
League.
mean shit.
Yeah.
And he came close that one time, but then he lost, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And now he won. So like, where are they going to go now that he's #1? He completed his goal since the 90s. What the fuck else is there for him to do?
well, explore one region, become #1 in the other region.
Yeah, but this is the world. This is the world. The other regions don't compare. This is like becoming the president of Earth. You know, you can't get any higher than that.
Well, you gotta defend that title because they have it. It's like, you win an Olympic gold medal. Like there's always the next Olympic to win the gold again.
Yeah.
So you becoming the champion of the world for the first time, and there's gonna be another championship. You wanna go for that again, and you become the world champion one more time, right?
Yeah, that is true. Maybe
So
he can do it at 11.
yeah, there you go. Like
Age 11.
becoming a gold medal Olympic doesn't stop there. Like you keep going for that gold again and again and again until you retire.
I forgot that they can just recycle the story because that's what they've been fucking doing for
Yeah.
25 years anyway.
Yeah.
Same with the games. That's why I don't play the games anymore because it's the same fucking story. The main character wants to be number one and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, good for him. Finally,
Good for him.
the character finally reached at the age of 10, which is weird because that's a 10-year-old going on an adventure with other young people. And that wouldn't make sense in today's world for a 10-year-old.
Like 10-year-old living house.
Yeah,
Tell him to
right.
Commit animal abuse against other animals.
Basically, it's like,
Or-
what the fuck?
Assuming your Pokemon's an animal, what if it's a fucking flower or a ghost?
Oh, yeah, like a Vileplume or a fucking
Magnemite.
Haunter. A
Magnemite.
Magnemite. Yeah, he'll just short out your fucking
Voltorb.
your cell phone all the time. You can't take out your cell phone around those Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, I got a tattoo. See?
Oh, yeah. So, listeners, Ryan got a tattoo. It's a burb. You got to watch the video to see it. It's fucking... What kind of owl is that?
It's just an owl.
Oh,
I don't know.
you don't have a favorite breed of owl?
No, all owls are cool.
Yes, they are.
Well, there's this thing called the Siberian eagle owl. I don't know if you've seen those. These are
Nope.
huge.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I came really close with it in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, because there's an owl cafe, and then now Siberian eagle owl is like standing there.
Oh, they're pretty. Wow. I'll have to show a video of this.
Eurasian eagle
The
owl.
Eurasian-
Siberian Eurasian eagle owl. Yeah, basically they're just it's huge owl. It's just standing there perching. It's cool.
It's like the Eurasian version of the great horned owl.
And then I like also the smallest owl called the sparrow owl. It's even as full adult, it's very tiny. It's like the size of a coffee mug
That's
or
fucking
less.
small as shit.
Yeah, they're called the sparrow owl. So small.
That is very
They're
small.
cute.
Birds. Fucking burbs.
I'm already thinking of what to get next for my second one on my right arm.
Get a penguin.
There are some cool penguin tattoos. Like a lot of people, they do it with the penguin diving. So they draw like the line of water and then they dive,
Yeah.
and
That would be cool. Or get
Yeah.
a puffin.
Puffins are
fucking-
cool too.
Those little bastards.
Blue-footed booby.
Yeah. Get a booby on your arm.
Do you know that, Bert? The blue-footed booby?
Yes. That's usually part of the meme where it's like, send me boobies, and then they send the picture of the birds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's a booby bird.
There's also another bird called the bush tit.
Yeah, the tits.
The bush tits.
I've seen the tit birds before.
Fucking love bush tit and boobies.
This is a great conversation.
I'm thinking of my second one. Either I was gonna get a phoenix on the right side, but not like an actual drawn phoenix, more like an abstract drawing of it, like a painting.
Oh, yeah, that'd
So
be cool.
there's not really like a facial feature, just like splashes of painting is what I want. Yeah, or what's it called? From the game Okami Amaterasu, the wolf.
Hold on,
'Cause-
I have a. You should get the rekindling phoenix
Rekindling things? What is
from
that?
Magic
Oh,
the
that
Gathering.
one.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's fire.
I don't want that one. Here, this is the one I was thinking of getting. I'll send it to you. But
Okay.
basically, it's that style, but like without basically in the wolf itself, it's sword. I want to get that.
Fucking tired. Ay. Oh, I was gonna say, the apparently that Hogwarts Legacy game that's
Yeah.
coming out. They
Yeah.
said that the classes The school classes, they're fucking side quests. That's not part of the main story. The main part of the story is for you to like go around and explore and do that sort of thing. But being an actual student, that's fucking side quest. I find that hilarious. It's not required for you to take the classes, but it's encouraged.
I guess it's like Harry Potter himself. He always gets himself into all kinds of trouble, but they're always like out of the school.
Oh yeah,
school
exactly.
life, right? So
Yeah.
his real quest is like not going to class, but like finding Horcruxes and all that bullshit.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the memes I see where people like they say, "Oh, this guy's doing side quests." Like he's just doing other things on the side apart from his whatever's going on in the video. I find that interesting, so that could be applied here. In other geek news, the first Avatar: Last Airbender animated film Airbender arrives in 2025. The anime, which continues the story of Zuko, Aang, and
Katara,
and Sokka and everything,
and Toph.
And Toph. But they're like, I think they're like 10 years older or something, so they're adults already.
That would be nice. No, I want to see that.
Do we know if it's made by the creators? I don't know.
I don't know. But because when they skip to Korra, there's like so much in between that's missing out. Like of course Korra kind of filled it in a little bit. But
I wanted to see Aang.
Yeah, I don't. As much as I like Korra, I like the show, but I don't like the character herself.
Yeah.
I mean, she was okay. She's not like bad. I've seen worse character in shows, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
But like Aang is just so much more mature for his age. His life consequences is a little bit different too compared to Korra, I guess. But
yeah, he's younger than Korra.
Yeah, but he's so much more mature and like. I like the personality of Aang a lot more than Korra, or even some of the characters in Korra's like they're good, but they're not like I don't think they're as supportive as the other characters they have in Aang's storyline.
Yeah,
I think.
I completely agree. I like the Korra thing. I always like exploration in terms of lore when it comes to superpowers or extra. Okay, so what I mean by this is like good lore is okay. First we have the four air, water, fire, and earth bending. All four, and then we know okay. There's metal bending, sub bending class, and then you have blood bending. Korra goes into both of those as well as fucking lava bending, which I'm like, oh shit, they got this in here too. That's fucking cool. And of course lightning bending as well from the first series. But I like when they show extra little niche, branches of, the bending styles like that. Like there could be sand or fucking. I don't know, even
vine bending.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
It's just bending the water in a vine, right? So technically, you can bend any plant because all plants have water.
Well,
tree benders.
Not all plants have. Well, like if they're
aloe vera, the aloe vera bender.
I'm trying to think of like what other
watermelon bender
would be. No, cabbage guy bender. I can't believe they got they got an actor to play that character in the live action when it's coming out.
I don't know if I watch the live action. I like Avatar because of the animation, and there's so much you can do with animations, and
plus the creators are not
different.
There.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch it. I'll probably take a peek at a little bit, but I don't know if I want to like. Is it a series or a movie?
It's gonna be a movie, I think.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
No, Avatar live action.
I mean, it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna be that interested.
It's a series.
Like,
I'll give it a look-see, and if it's bad, I'll just stop.
Like if it's like, I'll probably look like one episodes and see how it is. I don't think I'm gonna dawdle too much if it's too bad. I tried giving Cyberpunk a watch too on Netflix. I actually couldn't really get into it.
Why? Oh my!
I haven't
watched it, but why can't you get into it?
Like I was 6 episodes in, and then
what the fuck?
it doesn't hook me as
Oh.
any other show would.
Is that because of the aesthetic? You're not really into
No,
technology
I'm
shit?
I'm fine
Okay.
with the aesthetic and the sci-fi and everything. I was fine.
Okay.
It's the delivery of it. Something
Mm.
something feels off. Like the dialogue is just kind of like for a show that promotes the idea of being a cyberpunkish, and violence
Uh-huh.
and fights. For the first 6 episodes, it kind of lacks that.
Uh-huh.
It lacks what it's trying to promote.
Hmm.
Like if you watch animated show with a lot of violence, the great example is Arcane. Like in
Uh-huh.
the first 2 episodes, I was already like, oh, I'm really into this. I want to know more. Like it hooked me really good,
Hmm.
and then it gets better and better and better. There's like a good action scene, and it's like the storyline behind it is like it's amazing. It's very well written, but with Cyberpunk, okay, first episode's good. It got interesting, and then after that, it just kind of like something's weird. Something about it couldn't get me hooked. It
Uh-huh.
has nothing to do with the fact that it's sci-fi or it's a cyber. I don't mind sci-fi. I don't hate it. I can find something to enjoy about it. I like cyberpunk style. Um, but the storyline and dialogue, something feels off that it couldn't hook me.
Okay. That's interesting because I never thought you liked any sci-fi because you typically prefer fantasy over everything. So this is a surprise to me as your buddy. Because yeah, we've had conversations like this in the past where you prefer fantasy world to any
Oh
type of
yeah,
science fiction. But
I
I still need to watch Edge Runners to make my own judgment because I played the game and the game was fucking cool. I need to replay it again at some point after watching Edge Runners because I know people that have done that and you know their player count went up because of the anime and people play it and they're like, oh, I recognize that from Edge Runners and oh that's there because it takes place after and stuff like that or whatever.
maybe because I didn't play the game. That's why. Maybe that's why.
It's
But
not. I don't think so.
yeah, because like Stephanie didn't play the game didn't play League of Legends, but she got into Arcane like huge. Like even my coworker who doesn't play League of Legends like really love Arcane.
Hmm.
Like my coworker, even the like 30, 40-year old, like they were like, watching Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't I like sci-fi. I don't hate it. Of course I prefer fantasy and medieval theme
What
anytime.
sci-fi do you like? I don't even know.
Well, like okay, um, I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars. I'm okay with it. Like I'll watch it, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna look for it. But
Okay.
Star Ocean is sci-fi, if you think about it. I like Star Ocean.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
Right, the
is.
first and second Star Ocean is good. Third Star Ocean story is pretty good. I played
Mm.
the fourth one. I like Star Ocean. Um, another sci-fi like Fantasy Star Online's sci-fi. PSO2 is sci-fi, kind of.
Yeah, that
Right,
it
because
is.
you're on a battleship in a way, and then they transport you to like different scenery or whatever universe kind of
Yeah.
stuff, right? That's sci-fi. Um,
Forgot about that.
like small, like cyberpunk style. I kind of like it. I dig it. Like I don't hate it. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I'm not crazy into it, but I'll give it a go. It's basically what it is.
Okay. Well, then you need to fucking check out Altered Carbon because I've been trying to get you to watch that shit, but only the first season. The second season's terrible. And that's also cyberpunky where you have like the basis for listeners who don't know about this show. The basis is there's a guy who he gets hired by one of the richest guy in the world to investigate the richest guy in the world's own murder because he can't figure out how he dies. And what I mean by that is in this world, when you die, every human has a device called a stack, which is placed in the back of your skull, which contains your consciousness. So when you die, you pull it out, and if you break it, you're dead. You're actually dead. But if you put it in another sleeve, aka body, then you get revived in another sleeve. And poor people, they have to when they die and lose their main sleeve, they can get put into like a kid's sleeve and a woman's sleeve, an old person or a guy's sleeve. It doesn't matter. If you're poor, you can't afford a good sleeve. If you're rich, you can get copies of your own sleeve. And so it's interesting because I would have never thought of a concept like that in a cyberpunky themed world, and there's a lot of cyberpunk shit influence there and Blade Runner influence in this show. It's really cool because of all the technological advances and shit you see in the TV show, and you see a real divide between the rich and powerful and the poor and starving. So that's a really good show. I think it's only like 10 or 12 episodes on Netflix, but that's a sci-fi show I've been trying to get you to get into. And then The Expanse, which is basically Game of Thrones in space, where over the course of 6 seasons, you witness in outer space the separation, and it's not racism. It's what would be racism, but directed towards entire planets. Because you have Earthers, and then you have Martians that fucking hate each other, and then you have people who were born in the asteroid belt that fucking hate everybody. But they're all human. Well, yeah, I guess that's racist. I guess
you would race them because, like, okay, to be fair, technically the word racism, like, there's no such thing as racism in here on Earth right now.
Right.
Because everybody's a human race.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you could be black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. You're all still one race. It's human. I think they're thinking of, like, well, skinism, whatever, right?
Yeah. But
so racism would be better implied here because you're from different
planets.
You're not humans. Like, Martian is like, you know, are their features the same as human? Are they like more like elves looking, or like?
What it is Martians are humans that were from Earth that colonized Mars. So, but they live under. They have less gravity over there, so their bone structure is different, and they can't handle being on Earth as compared. Like if you step off an airship from Earth, and you're from Mars, you're gonna die within an hour if you don't take correct gravity medications, which are in the TV show, because you'll be crushed under the weight of Earth's gravity. The same applies to belters, because in the asteroid belt, there's no fucking gravity there. They have to have artificial gravity or magnetic boots to stay on the ground. And so a lot of belter people are skinny. And when you land on Earth, again, if you're not submerged in a tank of water, you're going to die because you'll be crushed by Earth's gravity. So anyway, the whole premise of this sci-fi show is it's the future. Mars and Earth fucking hate each other because Earth basically gave up on Mars and making it a second paradise, and the rich and powerful live on Earth. But Mars has more technologically sufficient and advanced weapons and military. And the asteroid belt is the blue-collar class of people. So they never get recognized because they only get used by, as they're called, the inners, the planets of the inner solar system. And then they have to deal with an outside force, which is a fucking alien. It's like, where the fuck did this fucking thing come from? And is it friendly? And blah, blah, blah. And it's really tense because, again, even though, you know, it's all, how do I explain this? You watch the suffrage of the belters throughout the entire series and how they get mistreated and how they're just trying to get on equal footing with Earth and Mars. And they're willing to go through such great lengths to take them down. But the sci-fi is great because a lot of the science is accurate in that show. It's 6 seasons long. You got to watch that because you like Game of Thrones.
6 seasons. Big. Oh my god.
You don't have anything to watch. Fuck you.
I have games to play. I have Bannerlord.
Yeah, but you have stuff to watch. You can watch it with Steph. It's good. And they have some familiar actors. They have They have the black guy from The Walking Dead. I don't know his name.
I don't watch The Walking Dead.
They have the guy who played Jim Moriarty in the Sherlock Holmes movies. They have that actor. He's pretty good. They have a couple other people that are. Simu Liu is in the fucking show, and I didn't know that. I was like, what the fuck? He's a fucking Marine. He's fucking Shang-Chi is a fucking Martian in the TV show. That was cool. That was like one of his first major big screen appearances. I was like, oh my god, That's cool. But anyway, yeah, that's a good sci-fi show to watch. I don't think of any other one. If I ever find any other ones, yeah, but Ultra Carbon and The Expanse, I think you would like that. And the listeners too. You guys are really like that because I'm the sci-fi expert in here. But,
You are?
Yeah, I know a lot about sci-fi.
Skiffy.
Sci-fi. But anyway, I think that is all for...
That is?
Yeah, I think that's all for today.
Oh no. What
no.
am I gonna do for the rest of the day?
Masturbate. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go find lunch, I guess.
Probably. But anywho, I need to go buy new shoes for the gym and stuff. But anywho, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Ryan, for being here. I appreciate it. So we can get this ball rolling again. This episode should be out on Monday, Tuesday at the latest, and the video will be out later in the week after I'm done editing it.
Why are you telling them what day it's gonna come out if it's already gonna come out by the time they listen?
Shut the fuck up. I'm just thinking out loud. Oh my God. Because people do that. Anyway, oh yeah. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. If you guys need to follow us, if you guys want to help us, check the link down below in the description on YouTube, as well as the link attached to the podcast, wherever you guys find your podcasts and whatever. Apple Podcasts, yeah, Spotify, Google, Cheeto Land. I don't fucking know. Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell us why we suck and why this show is not that great, but you still listen to it.
Shut the fuck up. And if you need to find me and my the socials, if you don't want to click there, you go to Linktree /ForTheGeeks. You can go to the YouTube channel For The Geeks with 2 S's, as well as the Instagram, all that good stuff. It'll be in the links. My personal socials, Linktree Seger VFX, or Seger VFX on Instagram. Seger Plays on Instagram, as well as Seger Plays on Twitter and Twitch.
And my YouTube channel. I'm kidding.
No.
My YouTube channel. I'm kidding.
But anyway, thank you guys again, and we'll see you next time. And
Follow me on YouTube.
Game like you mean it. Booby lips.
Follow me on YouTube.
Shut the fuck up.